The title suggests a disturbing situation rooted in the brutality, inequality, and dehumanization that existed during the era of plantation slavery. It hints at an act where a plantation owner treats his own daughter not as a human being with autonomy, but as an object to be given away, implying how deeply twisted and corrupted his sense of power had become. The description sets the tone for a dark narrative that focuses less on physical details and more on the cruelty of the circumstances and the horrifying choices made under such a system. It implies a daughter whose physical appearance made her a target of ridicule or neglect even within her own family, showing how people living in positions of privilege could still suffer emotionally because of the values imposed on them. Her father's act of giving her away paints a picture of a man who valued dominance and control more than the welfare of his child, revealing a deep moral decay behind the facade of social authority. The title also suggests that the enslaved person was forced into a situation where he had no choice. Slavery removed personal freedom, so any interaction framed as given to the slave indicates coercion rather than consent. This dynamic highlights the ugliness of the power imbalance, where human beings were denied agency and forced into roles that served the desires or cruelty of those who owned them. The phrase, "what he did to her body," does not need to describe anything graphic to convey horror. It can refer to actions born out of desperation, fear, or an attempt to navigate a situation he never chose. It may also point to something unexpected that challenged the assumptions of the plantation family, such as an act of compassion, protection, or defiance. The reaction suggested by "left them" shows that whatever happened shocked the people involved. This could be because the enslaved man responded in a way that exposed the cruelty of the owner, or because his actions revealed truths the plantation family was unwilling to face. Shock can come from discovering humanity where they expected subservience, or from witnessing consequences born from their own violent decisions. The scenario points toward themes of shame and guilt among those who believed themselves superior. The plantation owner may have assumed control over every aspect of life around him, but the outcome challenged his authority and left him unsettled. This loss of psychological power could be what stunned everyone present. There is also an underlying suggestion about the daughter's own suffering. Being treated like property by her father would have been a deep emotional wound. Her story reflects the hidden tragedies of individuals who lived within oppressive systems but lacked the power to resist them, even if they were technically on the privileged side. The enslaved man's role in the story also highlights the impossible moral positions enslaved people were often forced into. He may have sought to protect her, to assert some form of humanity, or to choose the least harmful path under unbearable pressure. His action, whether gentle or defiant, becomes significant because it humanizes him in a system built on stripping away that humanity. The shock expressed by "left them" suggests that the plantation family was confronted with the consequences of their own cruelty. It may have revealed a vulnerability they did not expect, or a truth they could no longer ignore. Such moments often led to fear, anger, or confusion among oppressors who suddenly realized their control was not absolute. The daughter's story reflects how power can be misused in ways that harm even those supposedly under protection. Her father's authority became a weapon against her, turning her life into something he could trade or dispose of. This creates a portrait of emotional darkness that lingers in the atmosphere of the narrative. The enslaved man's response becomes central because it breaks the script the plantation owner intended. Whether his actions were meant to prevent further harm or to resist in the only way available to him, they serve as a reminder that even in oppressive structures, people sought dignity whenever possible. The title also evokes themes of societal judgment. The phrase suggests that witnesses or other plantation members reacted strongly, indicating that even within a cruel system, certain actions were seen as crossing moral boundaries. Their shock becomes part of the story's emotional impact. It points toward consequences that cannot be undone. Whatever happened changed the dynamic between the daughter, the enslaved man, and the plantation household forever. It speaks to trauma, to the exposure of hidden truths, and to the breaking of illusions. The story implied by the title carries a heavy moral message. It exposes how systems built on cruelty inevitably collapse under the weight of their own inhumanity. The plantation owner's decision, born of dominance, prejudice, and disregard for human life, set in motion a reaction that he could not control or hide. Ultimately, the title invites readers to reflect on the darker realities of slavery, not through graphic details, but through the emotional, psychological, and moral devastation it caused. It shows that even those who assumed absolute power were confronted by moments that revealed their own failures and the humanity of those they oppressed.